welcome back. This is Marissa, also known as the Crafty Heifer, here on YouTube and over on Instagram. I want to start by saying this is this is May. It's May. May the 10th. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms, dog moms, aunties, any female out there that has a role in somebody else's life. Happy Mother's Day to you. I also want to say thank you to everybody that has watched my Flosstube videos or my live videos, that has subscribed, that has just happened to stumble on my channel and checked it out and, stayed around. So thank you guys so much. I felt so welcome in the community, and I cannot thank you enough for that, that even as a new stitcher, that you guys still are interested in what I have to say. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy couple weeks, but really, I am so blessed. And so thank you so much for that. All right, so let's talk about, we're going to get right into it, right? You guys know, all right, I did Mania. I'm doing Mania for the first time, and it has been a lot of fun. Like, I had a lot of fun. So I set a goal for myself, the way that I'm going to do Mania this year. And that is basically kind of a combination of Whip Mania and like I kind of set a limit for myself. So I didn't have a whole lot to choose from. I don't have a lot of patterns. I haven't bought a lot of stuff. And so I decided to take the 4 big whips that I have. 2 of them are year-long sals. Another one is a several month-long sal. And then the other one was something that I had just chosen to work on. And so I had decided that what I was going to do is that I was going to try to do 14 hours a week, and then I was going to earn a certain pattern each week that I had on my wish list. And so what I have done is I've gone through the first week. I worked on this pattern, which was a Texas Retreat exclusive pattern. It's called the Lonestar Stitchers, and it is by Twin Peak Primitives. And so I started out this pattern. Now, I will remind you guys, this is the first time that I had worked on linen. So I used a 28 count linen from Michael's. It's the Irish linen that they sell. It comes in like a big roll. Charles Craft, I think is what it's called. And so I started working on this pattern. This was a new start for Mania. So I started completely from scratch. Now, I did give myself a little bit of a handicap, which basically means I started on Wednesday instead of starting on Friday. So between Wednesday and Thursday, I did not count those hours towards the week. I just kind of let myself get used to stitching on the linen, and because I stitched 2 over 2, kind of let myself get used to that rhythm of doing that. And the only thing that I got done those 2 days was I started on the gold outlining, so kind of the vine outlining. So this is how far I got. So Wednesday and Thursday I stitched this gold here, and I think I stitched from here down to here, and then I went ahead and I started the flowers. So I did the reds, the 3 reds, and then I started these 2 whites. And you can see this one up here is really good. I did something here, and the count's not right. I'm not sure exactly what I did, but I went ahead and decided to leave it. I did pull it out one time, so the frog came and visited midweek. And so I pulled these 2 petals out here and restitched them, but I just can't make it look exactly right. So that's just gonna have to be something that's unique to this pattern for now, because I refuse to pull it out again. First of all, this linen, y'all, I was really nervous pulling things out of this linen. I was so afraid I was going to break one of the threads. And so it's done. It is what it is. It's just going to have to be a new Stitchers oopsie. And we're going to live with it and call it good. So I did all of that. I got in the star here, and then some of the lettering up here. And then I started on the Texas flag, which is here in the middle. I actually got more done in this part on that day than I did all of the others. So once I kind of got here, I'd kind of found my rhythm by Thursday. And surprisingly, I surprised myself because I'd put off stitching on linen. I wasn't sure how I would like it. and I surprised myself by how much I really enjoyed it. I love the way that the stitches lay, as far as the red and the blue go, how they just really pop. I like the look of them. I am not fond of this ecru. I don't know if you guys can see that. You see how nice that the red is laying, and the white just didn't lay very nicely. So someone commented that I should try railroading. So when I go get ready to pick this back up again, I will try doing it with railroad stitches for those white ones. I just was not real impressed by how the white laid versus the blue and the red. So there's that one. I'm really happy with my progress on this. I did reach my goal. So I stitched last week. Let me get my card to make sure that I'm telling you correctly. So at the moment, I'm just making do with some info cards here. And so I stitched a total of 14 hours and 26 minutes last week. So I did meet my 14-hour goal, which means I get to buy my new pattern. And I'll put that pattern up over here, the one that I'm going to purchase. It is make sure I tell you right, the Pledge of Allegiance, and it's by Designs by Lisa. So that was my week 1 goal, to get to buy that. So I will be buying that pattern this week, and so hopefully I'll have it next week to show you guys. But I was pretty excited. I made my first goal for Mania. This is my first time stitching for Mania, so yeah, I was pretty chuffed. That was week 1. So of course my weeks start on Friday, because the first was on Friday. So I'm starting my new week on Friday. So that was from Wednesday to Thursdays when I stitched that. And so this Friday, I switched over to, sorry, it's over here on my work table. I switched on Friday to the Linens and Threads 2020 Mystery Sal. And I am stitching this with a combination of different threads. So I started the top part up here. I started that with DMC 4240, which is one of their variegateds. And then I purchased 2 different Threadworks. I purchased Purple Passion from Threadworks, and I purchased Bikini Blue. So I'm doing this next element down here in the Purple Passion, so you can see how far I have gotten. So I started, this was right here. This up here is January, and this down here is the February pattern release. And so I started this on Friday night, and I got that far Friday and Saturday. So I was pretty excited. I'm getting faster from switching from that linen back to this Ada. I got much faster very quickly. So because I'm not having to like count and, you know, go over 2 and things. So I was pretty surprised by how quickly I got that done. It looks very good. So I've just got to finish this 1 star here, and then I can move on to the next element. But yeah, so that's 2 days worth of work. So I think in my 14 hours this week, I think I'm probably going to be able to go over 14 hours. I really, really enjoy working on this pattern. Like, it's one of my favorites so far that I've worked on. I like the different challenges that each element presents to you. And I like being able to change colors. I like the way these variegated threads, you can't see it so much on the camera, but I do like the way these variegated threads show up on this white canvas. And so I'm really enjoying this. I should say I've already done, I did 3 hours on Friday, which was 344 stitches. And then I did 2, 4, 5.5 hours yesterday. And that was a total of about 300 stitches, just over 300 stitches yesterday. There was some frogging already. So I went to start this one here, and I started it over here on accident. So I had to completely pull out the entire star and move it over. New stitcher problems, you gotta learn to read the pattern. So the frog has already visited this week. Hopefully that will be the only time, fingers crossed, that he will be here. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I have a good start going already, and I'm already at 10 hours out of my 14 just in those 2 days. I have not touched anything today. I slept in late this morning, and I'm going to make some phone calls here in a little while to Mom and Grandma and some of the important women in my life, but so far so good. So like I said, I'm working with the Purple Passion Threadworks thread at the moment for this Sal, and I'm just going to kind of jump around as I think it needs to be, the different colors on that pattern as I work on it. So I'm excited to be able to show you guys next week how far I got on that, and I'm really hoping to get February finished, or at least pretty much finished, because there is one large element in February that's like a plant tree thing, and maybe even get started on March. So I am behind on that. I do have until June to catch up, so fingers crossed I may be caught up with that one. Probably not, but I might. Like, I'm gonna give myself the benefit of the doubt. I would like to be caught up with this one before the June pattern releases on June 1st. So with all of that said, I do have one that I will be starting this week. So those of you that are participating in Stitch, that pattern dropped yesterday. I watched with my team. We watched the pattern drop and everything like that. We're super excited about it. It is a house pattern, and it says "Bless This House," so it's got Hugh Laurie on it. I'm not the biggest house fan, but I'm excited to be doing this stitch along, or excuse me, this Stitch alone, if I say it right. So I showed you guys last week my pattern. I have not actually started on this yet, but I do have my fabric. I do have my threads. This will probably get started here in just a little while. So there are my color choices. I chose a gold, yellow, and brown palette to start this on. It will be stitched on 14 count Aida, just 14 count white Aida. And the pattern, I think each pattern drop is going to be between like 300 and 400 stitches. So I'm hoping that I will be able to get the pattern done in like a day, day and a half if I just work on it. I'm not going to rush myself. There's not supposed to be any pressure for this. So I figure maybe if I work on this for about 30 minutes a day, by next week I'll be caught up before the next pattern releases on Saturday. So there was that. And then, oh, I forgot to say, this week I am stitching on the Linens and Thread Sal in order to earn the Halloween Quaker by Lila's Studio. So that is hopefully going to be the purchase I get to make this week for finishing, or next week. You guys know what I mean. So I went through, I do have a couple of things to show you guys as far as haul goes. I did buy a couple of patterns. I got them off of Stash Unload on Facebook. And I saw these go up. I just happened to be in there. I always miss them. You know, I see them like an hour later, and the ones that I want are gone and different things like that. So I'm not always on there, you know, just constantly buying things. I don't want to have a big stash because I'm one of those people, I see something and I like it, but if I buy it and then I come back to it in a few months, I may not like it as well. And so I want to avoid that. But I saw these two and I really, really liked them. The first one that I got is called The Birds and the Bees, and it's by Heart and Hand Needle Art. And this is what it looks like. It says, bless the flowers and the weeds, all the birds and the buzzing bees. And so my niece Amelia will be turning 1 this year. She turns 1 in September, and her first birthday party theme is going to be bees. And so I saw this. I really, really like this pattern. I've seen it a couple of times before. And when I saw it in Stash Unload, I was kind of like, I'm going to get that, and I'm going to make that for Amelia for her nursery. So I'm going to be making that, and then I will be passing this on to Joy-Filled Stitcher, Annie. She was also in the Facebook group, and she posted just below me that she wanted this next. So once I make it, I will pass this pattern on to her. It did get a little bent up in the center when they shoved it into my little tiny apartment mailbox. You know, they're only like this big. And so it was kind of folded up in there. I was not real happy, but that was not the shipper's fault. That was the mailman's fault. So I hope she doesn't mind. It's got a little bit of crinkle in it. But I will be passing that on to her. And I'm sure if you asked her, she would be happy to pass it when she is finished on to you. I also picked up from that same group, it's a Lizzie Kate, and it's Some of My Best Friends Are Flakes, or maybe it's called Snow Friends. I think it's called Snow Friends. I just really thought this was very, very cute. I kind of want to do this. They did it on this like tan colored background. I want to do this on black Ada. I think that would be really cute, or like a dark colored Ada, because it's so colorful other than like his hat, which I feel like if I did maybe in a satin or something like that, it would be really cute. So I just really like that. He's got his little owl, a little birdie, squirrel. I can't really tell what that is. I love the little bunny down here. I just think it's super, super cute. It's a small. So I wanted some little snack sized paintings, because all of the whips that I'm doing, I said paintings, excuse me, patterns. All of the ones that I'm doing are really large. And so I wanted a couple of little snack sized ones to work on in between doing all of the big ones. And this one calls for 14 colors on this one. So that's not too terrible. And I have a feeling that if I look in my stash, I think I probably have a lot of these already. And if I don't, I feel like this is one of those patterns, it would be super easy to change the colors on. So if I want to change the color of his jacket, or change the color of the snowflakes or something like that, if I wanted to make this more blue instead of this turquoisey blue, I can do that. So I got that one. I thought this would make a cute ornament when I'm done with it. And then I also went through, I was watching Bendy Stitchy, Michelle over at Bendy Stitchy, and she had mentioned that there was a lot of the Get Well patterns on her Instagram. She has like a story, and they're all saved on there, so you can go onto the designer sites and you can get them and go ahead and print them out, and they are free patterns, freebies. So the Be Well and Stitch, that's what it's called. So I went ahead and printed a couple of them. I will try to hold them way back here so that, because they're the actual patterns. So I picked up, let's see if I have cover pages. Let me just double check real quick. I apologize. Okay, so here's the first one. I picked up the Heartstring Samplery by Beth Twist, the Be Well and Stitch, which looks like this. And again, that's a freebie pattern. I really liked the bird. I love the little heart. I feel like this would be a really quick little stitch. You know, probably be able to do that in like a week or so. It is 83 by 54 stitches, and the design size is 5.79 by 3.71 inches. So, and it only calls for, I think, like 10 colors. So again, I really liked that one. So I picked that one up. And then I also picked up the free pattern by the Blackberry Rabbit, and it is also a Be Well pattern, and I'm going to hold it back here because it's the actual chart. So I really liked it. I love the bee, and of course the little wreath around it. It's got less than 10 colors, or right about 10 colors. There's a little bit of there's a little bit of back stitch that you do in black, and this is by the Blackberry Rabbit again. So I picked that one up. And then I also picked up the Night Spirit Studio Self-Isolating Bat. I saw this pattern. I saw somebody stitching it, and I absolutely loved it. I love all the things, you know, the creepy Halloween-y type things. And so I really wanted to do Self-Isolating Bat. And that's what that one looks like. And this is this is a 45 by 73. Which is about 3.5 by 5.5 inches on a 14 count Ada. So I figure all of these I can do with what I already have. You know, just little scrap pieces or leftover pieces or whatever. Or, you know, if I can do them on Ada, it's fine. I like Ada. I do. I'm sorry. I really like the linen, but I like Ada too. So, and then I also picked up, I was on, and I cannot remember who it was. It was a couple of weeks ago. Someone mentioned that you could get on the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and they had some cross stitch patterns that had been created from the original. They basically are reproductions from the original embroidered samplers that they have in their museum. And so I got on, and I went ahead and printed out Betty Glover 1837. And that is what it looks like. I just really liked it. I like the simplicity of it. I like the border and the patterns in the middle, these little, you know, flower things. I just really liked this one. And this is by Hewitt Hill Samplers, I believe, is who reproduced this one. And so it's a several page pattern, but I did really like it. It's got about, looks like about 15 colors. It is 246 by 225 stitches, and it was originally stitched on a 32 count tan linen, and they suggest 32 count summer khaki by Zweigert. Excuse me, that was my stomach. Yeah, so, and it looks like they stitched a model. Oh, they did just the center figure as well, just the lady. They did a model of that. So this is one, it will probably be put off for quite a while, but this is the sampler I think I would like to do. And because it was a reproduction from them, I really liked that. So that is pretty much it this week, you guys. I do have some fabric for you next week. I did purchase some more fabric. I will have that pattern. Hopefully it will be able to get here. I'm hoping that I can get the Pledge of Allegiance from my local LNS. And I know I didn't need to say local LNS. From my LNS. I'm still working on the lingo and all of those kinds of things. So that is pretty much what I have for you. I'm going to give them an email. They're still working. So let's just chit chat. Those of you that don't want to chit chat, you are free to go. Thank you so much for joining me and for spending part of your day with me here. Please give me a thumbs up on your way out. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing and ringing that cowbell so that you get notifications. Okay, so for those of you that are still around, thank you. Let's chit chat for a minute. So, Texas is opening back up. I'm not sure how I feel about it. On the one side, I'm ready to be out of my house. On the other side, I don't think we're ready. But I'm not in power, so it's not really my call. So, our LNS, which is the Stitch Niche here, it's over in Arlington. That's my closest one. They are working, I believe 1 day a week. You can go and still do curbside pickup, so you can't go into the shops yet. I really want to go in to be able to get some of these fancy flosses and to fill them, get some of the fabric, some of that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of saving up money a little bit on the side to be able to do that so that when they open, I can go have a shopping spree, right? Don't worry, I'll take you guys with me. But until then, what I'm going to do, what they're doing is they're basically accepting, you can send them an email and they will, if they have it, they'll go ahead and pull your order and then you can go and pick it up or they'll mail it to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 3 or 4 patterns, whatever it is that I have decided on. I'm going to see if they have them. If they don't, then I'll go ahead and get them from the actual designers or the companies that have them. But that's kind of my plan for the week. So I need to send out an email, go ahead and get that done. We are still doing the St. Jude giveaway. Again, don't put giveaway in there, but if you donate any amount to my St. Jude link, all that money goes directly to St. Jude and you will be entered into the giveaway for this coffee mug. And that will be on May the 30th. I'm trying to think. I know I've said a lot today. I'm kind of all over the place. I did sleep in until 10 o'clock, you guys. It was fantastic. It's fantastic. Apparently I needed it. I am not buying a whole lot right now. I'm pretty much focused on Mania. And then of course Stioch was this week. As far as work goes, we're planning to open our office back up fully on Friday, I believe, on the 15th. So I will be back at work permanently on the 15th and we will just kind of go from there and see, what goes on. So, of course, work is now cutting into my stitching time because at the moment I've been going in as I needed to, which is basically in the morning. So I usually go in about 10 and stay till about 2 or 3. So I have like the afternoons and the evenings to stitch. So I'm fixing to go back to work full time. Anyway, I won't bore you anymore. Thank you again for joining me, for spending part of your day with me. I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the comments. I have really enjoyed reading them. Some of you guys gave me some really, really helpful advice this week. And I will be looking into, you know, somebody said get a stitch journal. That's kind of what I'm doing with my cards. I like having it in each bag rather than in one central place. Just personally, because I feel like if you lose that one journal, it's all gone. Instead of if I lose one card, it's not so bad. I can probably replicate most of what was written on it. Just my personal preference. So, but thank you for the suggestion of a journal. I'll look into some of them. We're just going to keep going. I'm going to keep stitching, and I hope that you guys have a great week. I hope that you have a happy Mother's Day. I hope that you continue to stay safe and to think about others and to be kind. So many of you have been so kind to me that all I can try to do is return that. So again, please hit that like button if you liked what you saw today. Hit that subscribe button if you would like to have more content from me, and ring that cowbell because everybody needs more cowbell in their life. And until I see you next week, guys, remember to craft like someone left the barn door open. Bye.